Hi you guys, hope you all are having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and all the links are down below. So I'm doing all about foundations. If you don't know what this is, it's a series on my channels where I talk in detail, kind of generalized detail about a specific item in the makeup world. So foundation, powder, blush, eyeliner, anything like that. So let's jump right into it. Again, remember this is more general. Everybody knows the three basic undertones: cool tone, warm tone, neutral. There are other undertones that you can have. You can also have mixes in between the two, or maybe 75% warm, 25% cool. Either way, but I'm gonna just speak about those three. If you have warm undertones, look in the mirror and you'll see more yellow in your face. Also, your veins tend to be a little bit more on the green side, and you can pull gold off, like gold jewelry, pretty well. If you're neutral, that means you either have a mix of pink and yellow or you don't have either. And basically your veins are a mix of both, and you can pull off gold and silver jewelry pretty well. And for cool tones, it means you have more bluer veins, you have more pink in your face, and silver is definitely your go-to jewelry option. Now, a lot of people may even have purple undertones. They may have green undertones. There are many different undertones you can have. And yes, you can divide a color wheel by warm and cool. Very true, but there's so many mixes, and especially for skin tones in particular, you can go way out. So I'm going to link some videos that talk about undertones for 10-15 minutes so you can really learn about it. But if you're struggling finding it, my recommendation, if those three items don't work, like the three things I just said, look in the mirror and see if you have yellow or pink in your skin tone. If you can't, go into Macy's, Sephora, ask a bunch of different people, because sometimes people will get this wrong. Ask them what your undertone is. I know you can always go to the Estee Lauder counter if worst comes to worst, because they offer in the double wear foundation range, they do 1W1, which is the lightest shade in warm, 1N1, which would be the lightest shade in neutral, and 1C1, which would be cool. So even if you're darker, you can do 3C1. It doesn't matter. Get your shade range and ask them to test a neutral, cool, and warm foundation. Go out, wait about 5 minutes, go outside and see which one blends in the best with your skin. That is the undertone you have. If you don't have time to do that, and it's free of purchase, you can just test it out. Go to Target, buy the True Match foundations. They have them in warm, neutral, and cool. Buy your shade or the shade you think you are. Test it on you. Whichever one matches you the best, return the other two. You know your undertone. So now that we figured out your undertone and everything else, I'm going to talk about the types of foundations. There really are around three generalized types of foundations. You have dewy and moisture, which this foundation tends to be for people with drier complexions, meaning you have drier skin around you, or maybe you just have dry skin, dry patches, anything like that. This brings moisture back into your face. It makes the foundation not so cakey, doesn't feel so dry, and doesn't accentuate any dry patches, and it gives you more of this luminous highlighting look, which is what people with dry skin tend to need. Now, if you're more normal or combo, normal skin means that you're kind of dry around the perimeter, or you're just oily in the T-zone. That's combo means you have oily and dry patches all around you. Doesn't have to be in those specific places. They can literally be anywhere. For those, I always recommend a velvet or a demi matte foundation, because it's going to keep your moisture in your skin, so the places on your skin that are a little bit more dry aren't going to get irritated with it, and the places that are oily are going to stay relatively matte. That's why it's a demi matte velvet type finish. Now, for people that have really oily skin, oily, very oily, anything like that, you need something more like a matte foundation. So this is not going to add any more dewiness to your skin, so it's not going to make you look any more oily or greasy. But what it's going to do is keep your oil at bay, so you don't shine on throughout the day. You don't get really oily really fast. And that's really how it goes for what your skin type is. And then for types of coverage for foundations, there are really kind of four. You have sheer tints or BB creams. This is the lightest coverage you can go. It barely almost does nothing to your skin. So if you don't have a lot of imperfections, or you're just going out to the grocery store running a couple of errands, this is what this is best for, because it will just even out your skin and let it breathe. So maybe you have a little bit of redness or some slight under eye circles, or maybe you just want your skin to be one color. This is what this is good for. And honestly, I can't use this because I have way too much acne for this, but if you don't have a lot of problem areas, this might be the perfect thing to do, and you can always up the coverage when you're going out at night or however best suits you. Now, the second one would be a light coverage. So this was sheer and tint that I just talked about. Light coverage is something maybe if you have 1 or 2 zits or a little bit of like rosacea, not a whole lot. And this will just, again, even out your skin, but give you a little bit more coverage. So people probably still can't tell you're wearing foundation, but it will like just, I don't know, make you feel more leveled on your face. I personally, again, cannot use light coverage because it does not cover up my acne, but this is for people that don't have a lot of acne, maybe a couple of zits, nothing much, but it just evens your skin out like all the way. Medium coverage is something for people that maybe do have acne, maybe zits, worse rosacea, discoloration on the face, and this is not going to make things sheer. So it's going to cover up most of your problem areas. Maybe you need a little thing of concealer, I don't know, but it's not going to make you feel so cakey like a full coverage foundation would. And then for full coverage, which is what I tend to use, this is something that's supposed to cover up any discoloration, bad rosacea, bad acne scars, acne in general, bruises, anything that could be on your face. It's supposed to help cover it up or lessen the look of it. I have to use full coverage and then concealer because my acne scars are pretty old, pretty pitted, and pretty colorful. So for me, full coverage is how I do it. Now, not all foundations fall in that range. Some foundations are light to medium, some are medium to full, some are full to extra full. It really, really does depend on what you need. For example, a BB cream I like is my L'Oreal, I think it's just L'Oreal Magic BB cream. Now that ranges from sheer to light coverage because one layer gives me a sheer, doesn't really cover much. But if I layer another layer of that BB cream, I can get a light coverage out of it. For a medium to full coverage would be my Rimmel 25-hour lasting foundation. Now when I apply one layer, it only covers medium, meaning I can still see most of my acne scars, but my regular acne is pretty much covered. All I have to do is add another layer, and 2 layers on, I got my full coverage. Same thing with the Covergirl Outlast 3-in-1 foundation, same concept. And then my Estee Lauder, which 1 layer is full coverage, and then the second layer is like even fuller. I don't use more than 1 layer of Estee Lauder for the purpose of how cakey I can look, so I always just add concealer on my problem areas. But that's basically it for foundations. There are very good drugstore ones and there are very good high-end ones. It really depends on your need. I will list some like things I could recommend in the description bar, so that's basically it. This is really how I choose my foundations and by what I need. I also have to look in the ingredients because coconut water, coconut oil, talc, any of that stuff does break me out. So if you're acne prone like me, you can always leave a comment down and ask me if I've tried this foundation and if it caused me to break out or anything. So I hope you like videos like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I hope you guys all have a great day and don't forget to subscribe.